Country is a country of openness, of respect, of compassion, of the rule of law, of the rights of the individuals, of freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from crime, freedom to love who you want and not be judged for it, freedom to do what you want with your body.
So a few years later, someone turns into Mr. Hypocrite. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and today we have something that anybody can do. And this is all the ingredients, and maybe I'm lying because you know me, forgetful, might have to add something later. But anyway, we're going to start with showing you what you need to get. And remember, I'm not advertising. A can of, what is it, crushed? Diced, this is diced. Okay, crushed is okay too. So diced tomatoes. And then I have bay leaves. And I'm putting in 4 because I want that bay leaf flavor. And they're small. So you can use like a large one, maybe 2 large ones, or maybe 1.5, whatever. Some people don't like bay leaves as much, but it has a nice aroma. I think so. And then we're using garlic, of course. So, whoopsie, I dropped one. Get it later. And I put 5 in here. You can put it less or you can put more. Up to you. Everything's up to your taste. Next one. Unscrew this. Macaroni.
Yep.
Brown mushrooms. Celery. And I have an color array of peppers here. So we got orange, we have yellow, and we have red. Also 1 onion and black pepper going in. Over here I have pork, and it's ground pork, medium ground pork. And here is the leftover soup that we made the other day. And I will be taking out the vegetables and just using the juice. So there we go. So, anything else, Lee?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. So, I'll be right back to start preparing. Okay, we're back and we're going to get right into it. And we're going to start off with chopping up garlic and onion. Sorry for the hands, but my camera girl is gone again. So, here we go, onions. These onions seem to be very difficult to peel. I normally don't have a problem with peeling onions, but these ones here are a little bit more difficult than usual. But that's okay, we'll get it done. So there's the first one. Let me throw this away. I'm going to get a garbage container. There we are. Throw that in there. So I'm going to chop up this onion here, and it's going to be diced small. So I'm cutting down, and then I'm cutting across again. And I'm going to cut again this way, and you get a nice dice. And I will put that aside. you seeing that? Yeah. Hard to be the cameraman and do the chopping at the same time. So again, chopping down. Chopping this way, lengthwise, if you want to call it that. And then across. Yeah, so Lee's got some engagement to take care of, and I'll have to be doing this by myself. So there you go. Diced. Alright, so the next one is our garlic. Everything's giving me trouble today. I don't know why. I'm going to do it this way. There we go. Oop. Got myself that time. Being clumsy today. So I'm going to dice these. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest when we come back, so I don't bore you. Be right back. Okay, so we're going to add the macaroni. There's the macaroni there. And I'm going to see if I can get this camera to twist around without having an accident. And that was close. Here we are. Now what if I just take it off this thing here? And okay. There we go. So we're going to put it into boiling water. Trying to do 3 things at the same time. There's the boiling water. And I'm gonna put in
3, 2, 1.
How much is that? That's good. Now, would help if I was prepared ahead of time. Oh, what am I doing? There we are. There we go. We're gonna let that boil. Okay, it's time to go ahead with the celery, and I'm gonna cut it down the middle, just like that, and just chop it. I'll do another one. Do this one. Chop it down the middle. Yeah, it's good. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's like a stew in a sense, but it's a pasta dish. Oop. So there you go. I'm going to put that in with my onions, and we're going to saute them together along with the garlic. So the next thing we would be doing is the peppers, so I'll do that now. And I don't need a lot of it because this one, because we have 3 to pick from for color. I want to have color. So I'm going to take a chunk from each one of them and go with that. And that's good enough for me. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm just going to slice them down like this. Pretty easy. Out of the way. One more. Get this inner part of it out. I've already pre-washed everything. Let's get my seeds out. I don't want the seeds in the food. And again, just slice it down. I'm not worried about too uniform, although you want it relatively. Uniformed. And you can hear the macaroni cooking away there. I just got to give it a stir, so excuse me for a sec. Yeah. Sure. That's working good. And turn the heat down. Go back to what I'm doing. Oopsie. I'm trying to do it all at the same time. There we go. All done. All at the same time. Nice array of color. And we're going to saute them together. So, I'll be back. I got to do some chopping, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I just finished chopping up all the mushrooms. I'm going to show you that. I got 2 to demonstrate. And I'm going to move my camera down. There we are. So, let me move. These are the mushrooms that I chopped up. Coarse chop. There's all the stems. So now, move that up there. I'm just going to cut it in thirds and then down. Oh, my macaroni is almost ready, so I'm going to have to check on that. And that's all I did. Ooh, dropped one. So there you go again. They'll go in last after I saute all the vegetables. Be right back. Okay, so this is what we got left. Of course, this is the bay leaves, and here is the, sorry, I'm trying to do camera work today, and I'm not very good at it. So let's start over. Here is the things that are leftovers we have to put in, bay leaves, and then of course we have the soup, or juice, if I can ever open it. There we are, from yesterday. We're going to put that in. Come on, camera guy. Woo! Look at that, real close up. Oh my God, where is Lee? The mushrooms. And then here is the canned tomatoes, and I took out what I need. Lee doesn't really like tomatoes, so I don't want to put too much in or she's going to be angry. So, the one thing I forgot. Let's see. There we are. The one thing that I forgot. Olive oil. So that's what we're going to put in. And the other thing was salt. So don't forget, I always forget. So let's see. We have the washed cooked and rinsed macaroni. I am the worst camera guy ever. So this is a little piece of my. Now you can see why I need Lee. So anyway, that's going to go in there, and of course now we have the mixture of all the vegetables that we chopped up, and there we are. It's all mixed up in there. Okay, so we'll be back and we're going to start cooking. Well, here we are back again, and I'm going to attempt to show you everything this way. There we are. That's going in first. And let's see, put that there. That should be safe. Go the other way. I hit something. Okay, and the pepper. Knock the pepper over. So the pepper, the salt. Over here is the tomatoes, olive oil, and way over here. Oh my God! Direction. Okay. Anyway. Give up on that one. Mushroom. Everything is here. We're going to start cooking. So I'm going to move the camera back and keep it still. I just did that to irritate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that again. And you should never do that, I guess, right? But I do it. We have to get the fry pan in place. There we are. You see how important Lee is. Alright. Back again. Here we go. I'm going to turn on the element. I should have had it on earlier, so there's an error. We're ready for this. So, what's going on in politics? Geez, I haven't even had time to look at all. So, let's see. What can we talk about? What about Trudeau? How many people like Trudeau? Now, I'm not going to ask you to put up your hand because obviously I can't see. But if you do like Trudeau,
then you're probably in the minority nowadays.
in my opinion, because this guy is a tyrant, horrible individual that just wants to be a tyrannical leader. And remember what he said, what was it, a few years back, right? That the Chinese are a model that he would follow and is following today. So, if you like Trudeau, good luck in the future, because I'm going with the other side. Now, I think we're ready to go. That's my little rant today. I always have a little rant. That's sort of a, I don't know if you even call that a rant. Oh, what the hell is that? I don't want to touch it. That's a seed. It's a pepper seed. So, olive oil. Olive oil. I'll put the cap back on so I don't forget. I have to keep bending down. And I'm going to put a little bit of corn oil. That'll raise the burn level on the oil. Just put a little bit in. It's like if you have butter and you want to cook it a little bit longer, cook your food a little bit longer in the butter without it burning, add a little bit of oil. It'll raise the burn, what do you call that? The smoke, I forgot now. It's been a long time. The smoke, I'll do my research and get back to you on that one. It stops it from smoking and burning anyway, basically. is it ready? Well, we could test it with water, but I'm going to go with my experience, and I'm going to just dump this in. Yep, it's ready. You see that? Yeah. Good. Alright, so we're going to stir it up. I'm going to get myself a... Here, let me put an extra light on just in case it's not light enough. Oh yeah, that's good. Now I can't see. Spoon! Where are you? Thought I was going to say something. Okay, here we go. Cameraman is not my thing. Cooking is. Well, it looks like some countries are getting into the groove, eh? And they're stopping the mandates and the lockdowns, such as Czechoslovakia, such as UK, and I'd have to, well, it'd be nice if Lee was here because she's so knowledgeable about things like this, a lot more than I am, and it would be great. So I have to do my research on that, but I know those for sure, 100%. Oh yeah, United States now, eh? No more lockdowns. Yeah. What's happening to Canada? What's going on? What's going on? Why are the tyrannical leftists still at it? Well, you can't trust any politician really, but some of them are better than others.
Niggas in my grill trying to phase me.
Okay, I'm gonna let it sit here for a minute. Getting some heat. This is not gas. So every time you stir, you sort of slow the cooking process down. And I want it to caramelize just a little bit, so I'm gonna have to really let it cook away here. So I'm gonna come back. Okay, we're ready. These are the vegetables here are caramelized to some degree. I don't want to cook them any longer. I'm going to put them in this fry pan because I want to continue cooking the, well, not continue, I want to continue cooking, but I want to start sauteing the mushrooms. Mushrooms will, the reason why I'm doing that is because the mushrooms give off a lot of water content, and I don't want to mix it in with the semi-caramelized vegetables. There we go. So we're going to do this. I'm not using butter today. I'm using olive oil for everything. So it's up to you what you want to use. You can use butter if you want. And we're going to saute these. There we go. So we're going to leave that saute. Is there anything else I can do in the meantime? Not really. We're at a point where it's, let's see, no, we're sort of dictated by the mushrooms here. You cannot do anything else until you do me. Alright, well then, you better hurry up. So, anyway, today I'm sort of lacking politics. Is there any topics that you guys would like to hear about? Maybe we can do research on those topics. That's not a problem. And also, if there's any dishes that you want me to try, if you want me to try, I can't say I'm not going to bastardize it, but I will really try. You can have a good laugh. Okay, these are coming along nicely now. Didn't take long actually. Thought it would take longer. I don't want to cook anything too long because we are going to cook everything together just for maybe about 5 minutes. So it's another 5 minutes of cooking plus the time that it takes to cool down a little bit, right? You gotta remember about that. When you're cooking something, it continues to cook until it cools down. Everything has a time to cool down. So if you don't want your steak overcooked, you better take it off. Like if you want it rare, well, make it rare, but don't forget, some of it's still going to be cooking because of the heat that you apply to it. So it might not end up rare if you leave it on too long. Same as any desired amount of cookness, if that's the word, cookness. Okay, this is good enough. So the next thing I'm going to do is cook the meat, and we're going to put this together. Clunk, clunk, clunk. I have such a small space, I clunk everything and make a clunking sound all the time. So there we are. That's done. That's going to go in later. Now, the next thing, let's see, is the meat. So it's over here. Clunk. It's just pork, ground pork, medium ground pork. And I'm just going to mush it all up and then brown it up a bit. Do I need any oil? Well, probably not. And we'll wait and see before I add any more. And don't forget I have some oil in here. So we'll just wait and see what we get before adding any more. So, what's your favorite party? You have a favorite party, or you just fed up with politicians? Well, somebody's got to be in charge, right? No matter what. That's the way society works. But we have to pick the right guy. And you can't just let anybody take over, and especially the elites. Please, people, don't make the same mistake over and over and over. You can't have the elites in power. So, what choices do we have? Well, Trudeau definitely not, right? Well, maybe you're a Trudeau lover. Well, you wouldn't like this video then. The politics of it anyway. And maybe you're a NDP lover. Well, you wouldn't like this video either. Because in my opinion, the NDP and the Liberals are the same thing nowadays. And they are helping each other with the tyranny, to keep the tyranny going. So, who are we left with? Well, what about the Conservatives? They used to be a long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah. So, no, O'Toole's not worth it. He's a friggin' liar and a cheat. And I don't like him. So who are we left with? Well, we got some fringe parties out there. Who knows what they would be like? I can't comment on that. But there's one person left, right? And he can't seem to get enough publicity because Trudeau makes sure of that. So what is his name? Well, his name is Maxime Bernier, right? For the PPC. I think that's I think that's the way to go for now. And if he does what he says he's going to do, we should have Canada back to normal. We should. Hopefully he does what he says he will do, and if we put him in power. So in my opinion, he's the only choice right now, unless some of the choices, other choices that people do have gain power in the long run. But I think Maxime Bernier is our only hope right now. So leave some comments and let me know what you think. So are we ready yet? No. There's a lot of water in this. These, I don't know why there's so much water in the meat nowadays, but there's a hell of a lot of water in the meat. And it takes a while to get rid of it. I think they do this on purpose, so you know it weighs more. So you're not really getting, if you dehydrate it, the meat to some degree. And you could do that too. You can leave it in the fridge and let it sit there on a rack with the air circulating around it. And put some salt on top so the salt will extract the water. And you will see a big difference in the weight. And they know that. And if you go to the supermarkets, Safeway is really good at this. Watering down everything constantly. And then when you go to buy it and you weigh it, well, first off, you have to make sure that you sort of wring it out. Or else you're going to be paying for the water and not the vegetable. So that's a bit of a cheat right there. One thing I don't like about that. Yeah, supermarkets. That was in the news online. Eastern supermarkets look bare. What's going on there? They look really bare. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting down to just the grease, the natural fat that comes off the pork. So that's good. So maybe it'll start browning soon. See what I mean? It shouldn't take that long to brown. They just overload it with water. I really like to know what goes on behind the scenes. It should be more transparent. Okay, now I'm going to spice it up a bit. So I'm going to add the black pepper. There we go. I'm going to add some lemon pepper. So just that much. And I'm not adding salt. There is salt in that lemon pepper, by the way. I looked at it, it's got sodium in it. Ooh. There we go, it's starting to brown now. Wow, it took a long time to evaporate the water. give my hands a little rinse here. I always have paper towel nearby. I don't use cloths because cloths carry all sorts of stuff, and with paper towels you can throw them out. All right, there we go. I was trained in French cuisine, so I have culinary management skills, and it was quite the experience. I loved it. Quite an array of different kinds of chefs teaching us. It was great, wonderful. That was a long time ago. But you always had to have a little towel on you with your apron during the 2 years that I did the chef course. Culinary management it was called. Culinary management program. French cuisine. Trained in French cuisine. So I will add this now. A lot of oil there. If you're not up on, if you don't like so much oil, cut it back on it. That's all you have to do. Cut back on everything you don't want. You don't need to have everything that you see in this, that I put in this. You can do what you want. There we go. Starting to smell good. I made a lot. Now the reason why is because we can eat this for a few days. And yeah, you might say, oh, no variety. Well, you're not going to just eat it. You're going to add things like if you're going to have a vegetable on the side, maybe one night, right? Or a different starch or whatever. Whether it's macaroni, I know, but yeah, that's sort of out, I guess. But a different vegetable maybe. Right? But remember, if you don't have a lot of money, you can make a lot of it. You can freeze it if you want, or you know, it's going to last in the fridge for at least 3 days, 4 days, if you have it under the right temperatures. And you can always heat it back up again, though. Make sure that you heat it back up. If you got a microwave, that's great. You can heat it back up that way. You don't have to put it on the stove. Remember, this show is all about cooking for the poor man. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you can't eat well. So now I'm going to add the tomato, just as it is. And I'm going to clean up my area a bit. It's getting messy. Not burn myself. There we go. That's hot. Little space. I'm used to working in spaces. One of the first restaurants I ever worked at was called Kelly Roses, and it was a quaint little place. It was a house actually, and they turned it into a restaurant. And the kitchen was pretty narrow. Everything was in there. And you had to communicate a lot because the ovens were opening, you know, for nachos, and the grills were going for, you know, different recipes like, you know, the fajitas, and deep fryers were going for chimichangas and stuff like that. And then of course the dishwasher was in there. And in the summertime it was like horrible. Big jug of water you drink in no time. And you go outside and it was cooler in the middle of summer where the temperatures were around 90 degrees. It was cooler outside than it was inside. Those days. It's fun though. It's tiring, but it was fun. So, anything else? No. Not at this moment in time. It's a bit long today. So, now I'm going to add my bay leaves. You'll have to extract those out, don't eat them. It's just for flavor. And I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to add the soup now that I made the other day. I'm going to let this heat up just a bit, so this is going to be cold. And there we go. That should be hot enough. This is going to cool it right down. So we're just going to leave it. There we go. All this is the vegetables. I'll add a bit more. The vegetables from the other day. The soup in the soup. A little bit there for now. And mix it around a little bit. Get the bay leaves mixed in there for flavor. And I'm going to let it cook now. Cover it. And I'm going to be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to add a little bit of salt. Mix that around. Okay, I'm going to take these out. I don't want anybody to eat them. So I'll throw those over there. I know there's one more. Find it. Find it soon enough, I guess. Okay, so what I've decided to do is to just make a portion for Lee and myself and store the other away so we can maybe make something else out of it. And that's what I generally do. I always invent new things, so that's what we're going to do. So there's our portion that we're going to use. Probably a little bit too much, but I'm going to spoon what I want in here, and I'll do 3 to start, and get my wooden spoon and slowly stir it in. I don't want to add any more moisture to this because like there's a lot of juice, you can see that there. I won't add that in there because the macaroni will swell more, and I don't want it to swell any more than it is. It's got enough moisture in it. So that's good. Now I can add more. There we go. I'll add another spoonful. Mix that in. And you can top this with anything you want. You know, you got sour cream, or you want to add the sour cream in with it. Getting it everywhere. That would be good. That would be a good addition. Or if you like hot things, maybe you want to put a spice in there. And that's what I'll probably do with Lee's. I'm going to probably put a little bit of this in. I don't care about the brand, but it's Thai red curry paste, and she loves hot food, and she'll probably enjoy that, but I'll ask her before I do it. Oop. And a little bit more, I think. And it should be ready. Nothing gets thrown away. I use everything. Never waste. Okay, that looks like the right proportion right there. It's up to you what you like. That's what I like. That's good. All right, good enough. So we're going to be right back, and we'll do our usual dinner and talk. And so we're back here, and I've decided to make a sauce from the soup that I used the other day, and I've added 4 cheese slices. Okay, processed cheese. If you don't want to use the processed cheese, use another kind of cheese that may melt well in the slurry that I'm making. So this is not a gravy. It's not a sauce. It is simply a slurry, and I'm using cornstarch. So I'm just waiting for it to come up to a boil, and then I'm going to take it off to heat, because you don't want to over boil cornstarch. It will lose its gelicity, I guess. I don't know if that's even a word. So you can see it's getting hot. I have the our dish heating up. Now if you think it's too thin, you can adjust the great thing about cornstarch is you just can keep adding it, and to get your desired thickness. So our macaroni, pork, and vegetable dish is coming to a heating up there, sorry. Yeah, the thing about electric stoves, it takes forever to get anything up to temperature. Okay, so it's starting to get a little bit thicker. Not up to a boil yet, so we'll keep waiting. I'll turn this heat down. And anything that have a burnt taste to it. There we go. Starting. Turn this off. Don't need the heat there anymore. Remember about electric stoves is it takes a while to heat up, but then it takes a while to cool down, where gas is immediate. There's nothing coating the spoon, the back of the spoon, so it's not my desired thickness. Sort of a little bit, but not what I want. Maybe I have to turn the heat on again. I just want to bring it to a slight boil, but not long. And if I don't have the desired thickness, then I will add some more cornstarch, but not much. So my camera lady is back today.
Yes, I am.
I was struggling Without you. The key component of making videos is to have somebody there to take the video.
Yes.
Unless you're just doing like standstill sort of thing. But it's always good to be switching or having somebody actually working the camera.
Yes, but I shall not disturb my schedule.
No, of course not. I don't ask you to. But yeah, we're getting there. I think it's boiled now. I think that's good enough.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm not going to add anything else to it. And that's it. Turn this off. Turn this off. And we'll shift this to there. And we're going to add it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to add the whole thing. So that's sort of a processed cheese sauce with cornstarch, made from cornstarch. And of course, you get a lot of flavor in this. It's just not water. It's the soup that we made a couple of days ago. So it had a purpose besides eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was it anyway?
It's really good.
All right. So we're basically done here. Now it's just time to
Serve.
eat. Yeah, serve and eat.
Yep.
Exactly. So we'll see you in a minute. Well, we're ready. I'm going to show you the finished product, and it's a pretty simple meal, but a little bit of preparation involved. And over here we have a new painting from Lee.
Yes, sir. That was for Christmas.
Yeah, there we are. So,
I find it funny that you have a pepper in there.
what the hell? Is that a decoration? Or this
Yeah.
certainly isn't a practical thing for me. Let's take that out. Here, you can have that. I really don't like hot peppers.
At this point, I think he's allergic.
Yeah. So here we are. I'm going to sort of direct the camera on this side a little bit. So, today we have orange juice to go with it.
Healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what's your opinion on the Ukrainian and Russian threat that's going on?
My opinion is it's a thing that's been going on for
Quite some
decades.
time.
And it's just coming to a head again because Putin's feeling confident in his plans, and he's been planning for a long time to this is really hot, eh?
Yeah.
To maneuver maneuver Russia back into a state like the USSR, right?
Yes.
And of course, he has the cooperation of Iran and
China.
And China, yeah. Of course, North Korea will back them up, right?
Yeah, and my country as well, since my country is allies with the Russians, pretty much. So they have that kind of support.
Yeah. But
It's not the
very
biggest.
minor.
It's not the biggest, but they have.
She's
their
speaking
allies.
of Cambodia. So, so what do you think?
Well, I'm for Ukraine. I hope that they will win, but it seems like it's a pretty big thing that's going on. I mean, the U.S. What was it? Hold on. A State Department orders the the U.S. Embassy in Russia to leave Ukraine. My speech is not good today.
I'm not even paying attention, actually. I'm just doing my thumbs up thing. Anyway.
I wanted to say.
Okay.
I wanted to say that the State Department orders the diplomat's family to leave U.S. embassy in Ukraine because of the threat of the Russian military action. I mean, it's getting pretty serious.
Yeah, it is. And of course, we have a lame duck president that nobody has any faith in.
Nope.
And the axis of evil are circling like vultures
Yep.
around the U.S. right now because they know they don't have strong leadership. So we'll see what happens. You know, I pity America and I pity the world because if Biden's not capable of doing anything because he's senile, they got the upper hand right away. You don't want to have an upper hand because then you're fighting back. It's like World War II when the Japanese invaded, not invaded, but bombed Pearl Harbor. The Japanese had an upper hand, and it took a while for the United States to get geared up and wake up to the fact that they need to push this enemy back, right?
Yeah.
This same scenario could be, history repeats itself, so we
lot.
could have the same problem here if they decide to go to war, right?
Yeah, which right now it seems likely.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say because a lot of these stuff sometimes can be disputed properly, but I don't see this happening.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting developments. So, anything else?
Well,
We're doing trendy. Whatever's trending in the news, and we're going to comment on it. Sort of a challenge, I think.
Toronto Sun, Gunter, inflation tax are rising and it may get worse, it says.
Yeah, thanks, Trudeau.
By now you probably heard inflation in Canada last year rose by nearly 5%.
Yep, thanks, Trudeau.
Well appreciated by that. Well, anyways,
No
that
other
sucks.
comments on that. We know where that's stemming from.
Yep, and that sucks.
This is delicious.
Yes. It's outstanding.
Even with the processed cheese. All right, so let me get my phone and see if. What the hell? Forget about it.
I'm just on the news.
I'm waiting for you.
I'm still trying to look for something, but all I see right now is Ukraine. Yep.
No, what about the truckers? There's protests all over the world.
Hold up, let me try to find that.
Yeah, protests all over the world, so it should be there. You're depending on the wrong news reporting agencies, I think. Not Global News, no wonder. You're not going to get...
No, this is news. It has mostly almost like different news outlets on it.
Yeah, but they're all the left. They're working for Trudeau. You're not going to... You got to go and look for other news agencies like Rebel or The Blaze or something like that.
Alright, hold on.
Because you're not going to get a real good rendition of what's going on. You're going to get the leftist point of view,
Yeah, hold up. Let me try to get Rebel News.
which is propaganda most of the time. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. Rebel News. Okay. Accept. Calgary City Council doubles down on youth sports vaccine passport.
Okay. Because they're corrupt. They're one of the most corrupt cities, administrations. Another one is Toronto, the Toronto mayor.
How many parties are in Parliament?
Well, there's the Liberals, which are in power, unfortunately. That's Trudeau. Then there's the Conservatives, which is second. And that's, unfortunately, O'Toole. And then there's the NDP. I don't even recognize that leader.
Are there 5 parties?
And yeah, trying to get there. And then there's the Green Party, which is useless.
They don't do anything.
And the Bloc.
Yeah.
So I think, is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. And then there's independents. I don't know how many.
That's another thing that is completely corrupt in this kind of system. There shouldn't be 5 parties running. Because it just adds up to more corruption. And it just isn't really fair.
Well, you can look at it the other way, and if you don't have enough parties, you have corruption between the two, and you have that problem in the United States. So what it is, it's not the amount, I think, although I feel 5 parties is too much.
I mean, what is the point?
Yeah. So I think what it is the rules of Parliament need to be upgraded. And
Because, yeah, like, having 2 parties still can cause corruption, of course. Even just one party depends on the leader and depends on how the laws are made up and set up. But having 5 parties in Parliament just doubles the corruption and the issues that's going on right now.
certainly does, in a sense, if you think about how, if you have 2 parties, then you got, of course, one against the other and the corruption that between the two. But if you have 3, then you have another element in there, so the corruption could carry on into 3 parties, and 4 parties, then 5 parties, yeah. So I agree with you on that respect.
And with the 3 parties, let's say 3 party, and one of the other party agrees with that party, that means they gain more superiority.
Well, that's what Trudeau's banking on, to stay in power,
So that's another.
because he's a minority government, and in order for him to pass bills and to have any power whatsoever to be effective, he needs the Bloc and he needs the NDP.
Exactly.
The Green Party is useless, so. And unfortunately, he's getting the support by the tyrannical Bloc Party, which controls Quebec, and you can see that by the way their tyrannical ways of dealing with the COVID, which is totally unconstitutional.
Yep.
It's not totally in a sense, because they're able to get away with using the Constitution to their degree, because there's limits in the freedoms and rights, and they're using that against the public. And that's what I'm talking about. That needs to be changed. That needs to be changed. Anyway, on that point, we're gonna eat, and until the camera, until the next video, like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification button, please. And we'll bring another video to you as soon as possible. Take care, everybody.